Okay, what's good, everyone? It's Nigel here, Trinidad Empowerment Network. For those of you who watch the news or are avid viewers of the news, and I suppose you do because you watch my channel, I don't know how well the news is going for you in Trinidad or if they're reporting on this, but Nicolás Maduro has won the election in Venezuela again, and he has won by a landslide. He has won by a landslide, and this is significant for the future of Trinidad and Tobago and how it affects us. So today I'm going to break this down. So good evening, family. Good evening, Trinidad Empowerment Network family. Today we're going to keep it real, we're going to keep it raw, and we're going to keep it relevant. We're going to keep it relevant to what's happening internationally, and like I said, how it affects us, affects the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So let's talk about this election win in Venezuela by the president, Nicolás Maduro. They just declared victory in yet another election. A landslide victory, in fact, according to his government. But let's not be fooled. Most opposition parties in Venezuela boycotted the vote. That's a report coming from Venezuela. They call it a farce. They say that the voter turnout was extremely low. Independent journalists say turnout was significantly low, in fact. But yet Maduro's party, the PSUV, the Socialist Party, claim to have won 23 out of 24 states, and that's over 80% of the votes in in Venezuela. So take from that what you wish. It depends on what news outlet you listen to and who reports on Venezuela. Obviously, there's a bias depending on who you listen to. If you listen to the Americans, of course, there is a bias. So what does this mean for us? What does this mean for Trinidad and Tobago? I believe it's significant, and this is why I intend to break down the significance of this landslide win for Mr. Maduro. So with this win, Maduro has tightened his grip on Venezuela. And the US still view him as an illegitimate leader. Essentially, the US would like to get rid of him and put in their typical puppet regime so they could control the natural resources that's in Venezuela. And the US acts as big brother, as we know. Like I say, Donald Trump does not like Maduro. America does not like Maduro. So for that reason, Trinidad, the sovereign nation that we are, cannot do business with Venezuela. Not oil, not gas, not as much as a handshake. Even that's forbidden by the American president. So that's why the Dragon's gas field is dead. And for those of you who watch my channel know I talk a lot about this deal. Our sovereignty, gone, finished, because America, big brother, said so. So despite years of planning, the US pressure shut down that deal almost overnight. And we've bowed our heads because let's face it, whatever America says, we do. And the reason we do is because we trade heavily with them. We rely on their approval, and we are too afraid to chart our own path. And that's unlikely to change in the next 5 years under this government, and it's possibly unlikely to change under future government unless we see the complete collapse of America. So this isn't just geopolitics. It's real-life consequences playing out. Trinidad is now in for a long and difficult few years. For those of you who watched my videos before, I've told you this before. We are in for a very long few years. We've already seen waves of refugees from Venezuela coming into Trinidad. That's because their economy is in crisis and ours is not far behind. So with this win, we have to potentially brace for even more, because the sanction is not going to be lifted by America. In fact, it's going to be tightened. It's a burden we're not equipped to handle, not with our stagnant economy, rising unemployment, and limited resources. We are not ready for this. And yet, it's in our national interest to see Venezuela recover. It's absolutely in our national interest for the reasons I previously mentioned. Because if they collapse, Trinidad will feel the heat too. So this idea that we're going to sit back and laugh or make fun of what's happening in Venezuela, well, make fun if you do at your expense, because this has a direct impact on the future of Trinidad and Tobago. It's significant. Now, here's where things get interesting, or where I believe things get very interesting. With the West locking him out, Maduro has now turned east. He's turned east, forming fresh ties with Russia and potentially China. You've seen my reporting on this before if you watch my videos. So early reports suggest a new gas and oil agreement could be in the works between Venezuela and Russia. Now, if this deal lifts Venezuela out of the gutter as they are now, that could actually be a good thing for the region, for us, like I've previously alluded to. It could reduce the refugee crisis we face in Trinidad, potentially. It could stabilize their economy and even give us potential new trade opportunities if we are bold enough to seize the moment, to take it. But it's highly unlikely that we will, because of the sanctions we could potentially face from, well, Big Brother, that is America. We would not take it, essentially. We will not take any deal with Venezuela. I am certainly not going to hold my breath. Our prime minister still, well, essentially still scared of American backlash, and rightfully so, because we have not diversified our economy enough. We outrightly refuse to engage with Maduro. Certainly, the new regime, our new prime minister in the UNC government. She's now touting for Grenada's nutmeg gas field as the next big thing. A gas field with no infrastructure, no pipeline, and no real plan. Notice how quiet this has gone. The nutmeg field. No one's talking about it anymore. As for Guyana, they have already said they are not interested in working with us. Outrightly said, they are not interested in working with Trinidad and Tobago. So where does this leave us? The answer is nowhere. Just talk. Trinidad and Tobago need competition. We need real substantive change, akin to what we see happening with Ibrahim Traoré in Burkina Faso. So let me give you a simple analogy about what's going on here. One that makes clear sense, or should do. Imagine there's one grocery store in all of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's not forget our friends in Tobago. No competition, one grocery store. That store controls your food, your prices, your timings, the time they open. They say jump, we say how high. But the minute a second grocery store opens, everything changes. Prices drop, options appear. You get freedom. This is what a diversification of our economy does for us. A diversification not of just of our economy, but who we do our trades with. And right now, America is our only grocery store. And instead of building alternatives, whether it's China, whether it's Russia, whether it's Brazil, or even regional trade with CARICOM, we sit around and wait for instructions. We sit around and wait for instruction from America, and we are supposed to be a sovereign nation. We are not. It's high time we stop being so obedient. We need options. We need options, and we need it now. So in closing, I would say this. The truth is, this government isn't going to change anything. I don't believe the previous regime was likely going to do the same either. But this government certainly isn't going to change anything. As long as it comes to trading with America and trade with America, we are not going to change anything. They won't take the heat. They won't risk a new direction. But the problem is, we must. We must before it's too late. Because the same old strategies are destroying this country. It's destroying us. And we need to revolutionize Trinidad and Tobago, and we need to revolutionize now. We need bold partnerships. We need a diversified economy. And we need a government with a backbone. If not for us, then for our kids, for our children. So I believe this is the moment. This is the moment. Let's stop playing small. At some point, we have to build a nation we can all be proud of. And this is my take, and this is my frustration with what I see happening. We have the potential to do so much better. What are we waiting for? We have the natural resources to become truly independent. We must take the opportunity to do so. We cannot continue to wait on America. America is a failing economy. Anyway, we're now up to 4K subs, over 4K. We are now one of the fastest growing YouTube channels, believe it or not, in the Caribbean or representing the Caribbean. And that's down to you. That's down to you for liking, subscribing, and commenting, whether it be good or bad. Most of it, I'd say 90% are positive and in alignment with some of the things I talk about. And I thank you for doing that. But talk without action is futile. We really need to, the reason I need to grow the network and empower you is so that we can all be empowered to change the system that we have that's failing us, because we could do so much better. I truly believe I wouldn't keep putting my time into this if I didn't believe in us and the fact that we are better and can do better. So keep liking, please keep subscribing, keep commenting, keep growing the channel, keep sharing, and keep telling everyone, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your family about Trinidad Empowerment Network. If you are in agreement with what we are about, please do so and help growing the channel. And that way we could hold the people at the very top to account. Thank you, and I'll see you guys on my next video. For now, much love. God bless. Take care. Peace.